$287 million. That's how much money Newark Public Schools, New Jersey's largest school district, received in COVID-19 relief funds. Now, 3 state lawmakers are calling for a federal investigation into how that money was spent.
It follows a pattern of adults behaving badly, mismanaging funds that are meant for students. One thing we do know is it did not improve student learning. It did not improve outcomes, and the adults absolutely behaved badly with no judgment whatsoever in this situation.
The complaint hinges on if the money actually went to help address student learning loss. Joining me now to respond, Newark Public Schools Superintendent Roger Leone. Superintendent, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I want to give you a chance to respond to that lawmaker's critique.
I have absolutely no idea what that assembly person is actually talking about. So that's why I was extremely excited to be given the opportunity to be able to answer any questions that you actually may have, so that would help you and any of the viewing audience.
Let me jump in then and fill it out. There's a couple of things they've said. One of them that stood out to me, an allegation that $1.4 million was spent on what the lawmakers have said is they've spoken to that literacy consultant, and they allege that that individual has said none of the work that $1.4 million is supposed to pay for actually happened. Have you been able to account for that $1.4 million?
Sure. So I actually have what these people are claiming they have, which was based on an Open Public Records Act request, which is before me, of that one vendor. If they actually go to the second page of the document that they have, it clearly says that they want the contract of that vendor, and they didn't receive it because there is no contract for that vendor. You can't have a no-show job if you actually don't have a job. You would need a contract to have a job to then not show up at the job. That's extremely important for people to be actually aware of. And what's very concerning is that these politicians in particular have claimed that they have this OPRA request, which means they have a statement from our records of custodian that clearly indicates that there is no contract.
So more importantly, can I just clarify for the viewers, sir? So was the $1.4 million spent on this consultant or not?
No.
It was never spent.
Because you would need to have a contract in order to do that. And just also what I was going to say, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to finish that point. The whole idea that somebody would claim that there is a no-show job and that somebody would actually get paid for that is not the Newark that I know, and is not the Newark Public Schools that I lead.
One of the critiques they have, and I appreciate you interacting with that allegation they have, one of the critiques is that the money spent doesn't show up in student outcomes. And I've seen people in the state point to literacy rates and math proficiency rates in Newark, which I think it's 34% for English language. I think it's 21% for math. Those are not stellar numbers, okay? And so I wonder how you would respond to your critics who say, maybe that money wasn't spent there, but $287 million was spent on COVID relief, and it doesn't seem to have made much of a difference for students.
Oh, I would beg to differ. So on our district's website, you would be able to find our ESSER and ARP impact summary document that outlines the process that we've used, the investments where they landed, and the actual spending that we made during the entire time period, from President Biden's end to President Trump's start. And you will then find in the insert highlights, a lot of them, of the incredible work that would definitely be multiple indicators of the progress that has been occurring in Newark Public Schools. Let me be clear. At the start of every school year, once the State Department of Education reviews the student achievement data, we're then authorized to actually produce it to the public. So every year, at the start of the year, once that occurs, I always share our data. We do not shy away from the fact that there's so much work that is before us. But there is this little pandemic event that did occur in the world that has created a delay to progress. At the heart of what we're doing,
since we're short on time,
our 10-year historic strategic plan that is addressing a lot of that today.
Sir, let me just jump in for a second. I appreciate that. You came and did your homework. I appreciate that. I love the visuals. I wish I could see them better. I can't over the screen. But one thing that a critic might say is, you've got your process there, okay? You've got your plans and whatever. But as a parent, I care about outcomes. I don't care so much how you think you're going to get there. I want to see better than a 21% math proficiency. That's pretty dang low. What are you going to do to get, where should that number be, and how do you get it up faster? Because you got generations that depend on improving that.
Oh, absolutely agree with you. And even though it was hard for you to see, if you go on the district's website, we have published this document about 2 years ago. So let's talk about results, because that's what matters. We have a 90% graduation rate. That's the highest in over 3 decades in our school district. We have a 10.4% chronic absenteeism. It's the lowest in decades as well. And extremely important to share, it's lower than the state's average 3 years in a row. I have $632 million in college scholarships that have been earned by students who are now in Ivy Leagues, state and private institutions, as well as historically Black colleges and universities, as well as our county schools. I have 894 students that have graduated with associate's degrees, which means they graduated from high school before they graduated from college before they actually received a high school diploma. We have 869 students that have earned the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy, which indicates that they have mastery of a language other than English, and some of them have masteries of at least 3 more languages other than English.
I appreciate that. That's great data, and I'll tell you this: I wish you very well. I want to see every kid in Newark get a great education. I hope I can have you back sometime, because I'd like to talk more about it, and particularly the charter schools in your district. That's a very interesting question, and I know you and I might have a good conversation on that, but we'll save that for another day. Roger Leone, Superintendent of Newark Public Schools.